What a fight between these two drivers.
Right here. Focus on your exit.
A big charge into 3. He's going to try to slide up in front of him. Not enough room. Here comes Chastain again. They continue to race each other so hard, getting into the wall, and here comes Brandon Jones. 2 laps to go from Darlington. He's out front, but can he hold it against the wall? He gets into the wall. So does the 10. Contact made. Here comes the 19.
What a battle, Rick, between the 54 and the 10.
You see the frustration, Ross Chastain. He's been so consistent, has been racing up front, and yet hasn't been able to find victory lane. Will that frustration boil over?
It's easy to stay disappointed after finishing second again, but it's Monday morning and I can't dwell on it anymore. I have to move on and get ready for the next one. And I can't think of any better ways to get ready than to visit FFA headquarters and talk to the future about the future.
All right, well, welcome inside. As we walk into the building here at 6060 FFA Drive, one of the focal points that everybody gets to see as staff members or any guests that come to the National FFA Center is our mission statement, and we wanted that reflected every day as people walk into the building. And I'm going to introduce you to 2 of our young men here that serve on our National FFA officer team.
What's up, guys?
Yomar. Yomar and Coulson. So I'm going to leave you in good hands with them. So nice to meet you.
Yep,
good
you
luck
as well.
with your races.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Well, I feel like we're inside of a silo, but I'm guessing there's a meaning to that. And,
Yes, sir.
and what is all this stuff on the walls here?
Yeah, we'll take you through kind of the first stop of the tour, and this is the birthplace of FFA. And what's interesting is usually when folks hear FFA, Future Farmers of America, they think 1928, which that was our founding year. But our story begins all the way back in 1917 with the passing of the Smith-Hughes Act. So what that did was it federally funded vocational agriculture in the U.S. And so that constantly expanded until 1928 in Kansas City, Missouri, where 33 gentlemen from 18 states officially formed the National FFA Organization, or at that time, the Future Farmers of America.
So in 1965, our sister organization, the NFA, combined as one with the Future Farmers of America, so we are now one organization. And 4 years later, in 1969, the women were allowed to be also part of the FFA, and now we're celebrating more than 50 years of women in the FFA.
Year after year, we began to kind of expand as an organization and understand what it means to be fully inclusive and fully diverse and fully equitable for people all across the country. And it's been neat to have certain historic landmarks throughout our entire history to see that constantly reflected. And even today, we understand that there's always progress to be made to become that more FFA for all, as we like to say.
FFA is a home for all members. It doesn't matter their sexual orientation, religion, how they look, what they're going to speak, their background, if they want to go to college or they don't want to go to college. FFA is going to give them the skills of a leader, and that is to respect everyone and understand that everyone has different opinion, and that's okay. And it doesn't matter if you want to go in the industry of agriculture or outside, there's a place for you to work for the best for the nation and for the world.
And now we are suddenly looking at things like biotechnology and research, environmental sustainability. What does production agriculture look like now with the ability to work with drones and precision agriculture? Agriculture is and will continue to be the backbone of every country in the world. We see agriculture being the basis for all relations with other countries around the world as well. And it's something quite special when you take a step back, you look at a wall like this, and you realize what you're really a part of. We always talk about our first convention experience at National Convention in Indianapolis, and you walk into a room and you see 70,000 students wearing the same jacket. And we always say, you know, it's not what's here on the right side of the jacket, it's what's here on the left that matters. Though this might change, this remains the same.
So when we decided to move to Indianapolis for the first time to inaugurate the center, every state officer and every state staff bring a piece of soil from their state, including Puerto Rico. So actually, when you think about, you're holding here a piece of every state, including the island of Puerto Rico. So that's how united and strong we are as an organization.
Yeah,
We appreciate you taking some time to come out to 6060 FFA Drive. You are welcome back anytime. And on behalf of the National FFA Organization, we appreciate everything that you do to continue to support us.
Hopefully, We can get you guys out to a race one day.
Careful. Yeah. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it.
Totally different part of the country and the world that I've ever been to and ever learned anything about sugar beets. And I don't know how they harvest, where they go to, and I just want to learn about it. I think one of the sons is getting involved in it more and more. So he's got to move the business forward.
Sugar beets is an old industry. It's well over 100 years old in Michigan, and we're relatively new. We started in 1986. My dad got his first contract. Started with 40 acres that year, and this year we're at 4,250 acres. We're gonna grow of our own, and we custom harvest, so we'll harvest 5,500 acres.
Yeah.
So it's just grown and grown and grown. But yeah, sugar beets is interesting. There's so many people I run across that don't realize that sugar beets are a thing. They think their sugar all comes from cane.
Mm-hmm.
So to introduce people to sugar beets is it's always pretty interesting. So this is the sugar beet harvester. Call it the Tiger. Up here at the front, we can start. I'll kind of show you how it works and everything that it does to harvest the beets. Our sugar beets have a green top on them. So this shreds the beet tops off and puts them down basically in between the sugar beet rows. We call them digging shoes. They run under the ground kind of like this in a V motion, and they move. The arms move back and forth, and that just gradually pulls that beet up out of the ground. It actually takes it back between the tires under the cab. The beets will fall onto this turbine that's spinning, and it'll go back here in an S shape right along these fences. Eventually get to that conveyor that's in the middle, which takes them up the side of the machine and into the tank. So we're in the bunker here now. So this is that chain that was coming up the side after the turbines. Just coming up, this thing wraps around the entire machine. Comes up to the top and it just dumps a pile here. And eventually it comes up to this auger that's spinning, and it'll convey the beets back. And then back there at the top, you'll see that little white circle. There's a sonar back there, and that's measuring on a percentage. Once it hits close enough to the front, it says 100%. You better be getting stopped or getting dumped.
Right. And how many tons will it hold?
About 30.
So is sugar beets all that you do?
We also grow white wheat and navy beans. Both high maintenance crops around here. Lots of fungicides getting sprayed on those as well. Actually, Jim here he's our office or our location manager for Ubley, just a few miles away, and helps us out with that all the time. So it's a lot of knowledge here.
Yeah, so Clint's using a lot of LPI products to enhance the performance of his fungicides in all of his crops.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's the great products. Certain products you can mix with certain fungicides, certain ones you can't. So again, that's where the knowledge comes back to your local guys, and they always steer us in the right direction.
So we saw the Tiger.
Yep.
What's this one?
This one's the mouse.
Horse is.
Yeah, the mouse. So this is what picks the pile up. This front end really cleans them up. There's conveyors that take them to the back, and a great big boom that reaches out onto the road, so the truck never enters the field.
So who's older? You're older.
Yeah, we'll tell.
Does he ever let you forget that? He's the older brother?
No, we get along pretty well. Everybody's got their own parts. And
Yep. Man, you've grown up here. You've seen this thing grow. You've seen this yard grow, these buildings. I mean, what do you see? I mean, what's 10 years, 20 years down the road? What do you see yourself doing here?
I see myself either just keep working, or I plan to use my accounting degree to my full extent. When I decided that I was going to come work here, that pretty big learning curve, because I'd been out of the whole thing for a while. I hadn't talked to anyone about it. Hadn't really talked to my dad about it yet. Once I got here, everyone working here really helped me learn as to what I was doing, how to work things. There's always something new coming at you.
So I was involved in 4-H, and I think you were as well.
Yep.
What do you remember about all that?
Oh, we all were. Dylan was when he was younger. Brad's kids are now. The rest of my kids are at 4-H's. Well, and to see now the next generation getting involved in it and enjoying doing it, it's fun.
For me, it's hard to even realize what all, a 4-H program or FFA program, now that I've gotten to know it better, what all, the reach of that is exponential. You really have no idea it's going to mold them into
For sure.
better members of society. And
right. There's so much to be said for that. And you know, you don't have to be the president to need those leadership skills.
No.
I mean, it can go back to a township board, or, you know, just on the smaller scale of things, and that stuff pays dividends in the future for
They
them.
can really make a difference at any
For sure.
of those levels.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, guys, thank you for letting me come here and impede the work a little bit today, but learn about this process and the 3 crops that y'all do. It was something I knew nothing about, so appreciate you letting me get in the way and learn the ropes a little bit.
Getting away from the track for a few days helped me refocus. I don't know where this season will lead, but I do know that despite the frustrations, all the second place finishes, that we still have the playoffs coming up. And everything is on the table.